Well, what is up, everybody? Welcome in. I am so glad to be here tonight. We haven't done a live in a minute. Super, super excited. I'm Samantha. I got my partner Kaylia here with me.
Hello, happy Friday, everybody. Nice to see y'all with us tonight.
Yeah, happy Easter weekend. Yeah, we're your hosts, and we're here. Missing Pacific Northwest Crimes Revisited. It's March 29th, 2024. How is everybody doing? We have several people inside. Yeah, we got several people inside chat.
Yep, chat's moving right along already.
We got JB0617. We got Dawn. We got lots of people coming in. This is awesome. We cannot wait to give you guys all of the information that we've collected.
Yep.
Super, super excited. We've got court documents. We've got recordings. We have all kinds of goodies on the three suspects in the, See, I'm already nervous. I've been nervous all day long. We haven't gone live in a minute. This is a really big live for us, so we've kind of been nervous. But yeah, three suspects on our thumbnail: Stacey Wondra, Brandon Shurtliff, and Adrien Lucienne. Once we stop with our nerves, we're totally going to get into this.
Right. You know, before we started, I said, we're just got to shake the rust off. It's been a while, but this is a great one to come back with. So that's why we're so excited, and also paired with butterflies. So yeah, thanks for joining us on our return after a short hiatus. And hopefully that was kind of a personal thing, but we're back full steam ahead. We won't be taking breaks. So
that's right.
Yep.
And who knows how long we're going to be here, because this is a big one. Hey, Savannah, nice to see you. Nice to see you, Zane Lilly. Jeff and Angela Badgett, nice to see you here. You're a new face, I believe. We've got Dawn, grandma of 3. I'm a grandma of 6. I love being a grandma. Lives are fun to do. It's good to see you. It is great to see you here. I am so excited. Stacey Wondra is back in jail. He couldn't make it for 4 months.
Yep.
Out of jail.
Surprise, surprise. I guess I would like to know, is anybody surprised by that in our comment section?
Yeah, if you're surprised, put a 1. If you're not surprised, put a 2 in chat. I personally am not surprised. Missing with Manda. I absolutely love all that you do for Monkey. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you.
Yes.
If you guys don't know who she is, go over to her channel. She is doing amazing things. She makes lots of flyers for a lot of missing children, and she does do a lot on Monkey Vaughan himself. Thank the Lord he is back. Because guess what? Him and Sarah can't communicate anymore. They were communicating, and we know that from a month or so ago. People were talking about it. We saw a picture of them talking while Sarah was in prison. Communication is now shut off. That is an amazing thing, because you're going to have each other in jail, in prison, going, I wonder what the other one's saying. I wonder what the other one's doing. And there's going to be so many what ifs.
Right.
Let's just hope and pray to God somebody flips.
Yep.
Somebody flips.
Yeah, hopefully, that puts them both in a vulnerable mental space, like you said. So yeah, it's definitely, I would not say I'm surprised. Sorry for the stutter. I'm not surprised at all. But yeah, definitely interested to talk about what he says, what happened and everything, because I mean, I want to say I'm not surprised, but I am as well. It's just, it's both. It's dual.
Sorry, I had to mute myself real quick and tell my hubby to be quiet.
You see me
His
mute all the
neighbor
time.
came over. Yeah, a neighbor came over and was talking with him. I'm like, hey, be quiet. No, yeah. So 4 months, can you believe it? This is just a repeated pattern for Stacey, isn't it? Just, going into jail, getting out, getting into jail, getting out. It's been repeated since he left the facility in Montana, you know, with all of his mental issues and everything. It's just the repeated pattern that we see with these criminals all the time. And we're actually going to talk about that with each one of these individuals. We've gone over Stacey before, and yeah, here he is again. He is a suspect in Michael Monkey Vaughan's abduction, and he's back in jail. He was on very, very, very strict conditions when he left prison in November. So, yeah, it's been 4 months, and 4 months he's already back in jail, 16 parole violations. Stacey himself, because we've got him talking from inside jail on a recording. You guys want to stay tuned for that. Yeah, just super excited. Since his arrest on March 21st, he's in Ada County jail. Yeah, I think we should just start with going over his plea agreement and his condition, his conditions that he had when being paroled, when he got out. I think that's a great place to start because he's been doing a lot of stuff he shouldn't be doing. A lot of stuff he shouldn't be doing.
Right. Yep, exactly. And in fact, I wanted to see something before we get into that. Dawn, Grandma of Three, says, how long can they keep him? I'm seeing if I can see when his next...
Well, he goes back to court in May.
Okay, that's
and either,
okay.
Maybe he's hoping that they're not going to keep him and it'll be time served and he'll be released again. But let's just hope and pray to God, since he broke his parole, that they can actually make him serve his full sentence that he was supposed to serve before he was let out in November.
I totally agree. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Are we going to show those on screen or?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Ooh, look at that nasty face. Isn't he funny looking? He looks like the Three Stooges to me. My dad watched that show growing up, and he looks just like one of them that does the smack on the top of the head and the whoop, whoop, whoop.
Right.
I almost named this live Three Stooges, by the way.
That would have been a good alternative, definitely. That I would say. That's funny.
So the plea agreement has 7 pages, and Kalia is master court doc partner, and she's the one who got all of these court documents. We've got so many court documents that we ain't even going to be able to cover all of this. We're going to be able to do a huge deep dive on Brandon Shurtliff later in the future with the documents that we found on him dating back way back. And yeah, go for it, girl.
All right. This is the first page of that. It's the final judgment in his criminal case. And he actually pled guilty, it looks like here. And then we can go to the next page because that's actually the part where it talks about his imprisonment and supervision. So it says the defendant is hereby committed to the custody of the Federal Bureau of Prisons to be imprisoned for a total term of 21 months. The court makes the following recommendations to the Bureau of Prisons. The defendant will be credited with all time served in federal custody and will be permitted to serve his remaining sentence in the Ada County, Idaho jail. It is recommended to the Bureau expedite the calculation of the defendant's good time credit so he may be released from custody as soon as he is eligible. And then the defendant is remanded to the custody of the United States Marshal. So then we can go to the next page, which is about his actual supervised release, which is the relevant part.
Okay. And Sammy here is saying, how about we write our own letters to the judge? How about we do that? If you want to write a letter to the judge and talk about, if you have verifiable information you want to send to Fruitland or Ada County Jail, go for it.
Yep. In fact, you know what? After this live, I'll go post in our group, Michael Vaughan Case Revisited on Facebook. I'll go post the information on how to do that if you so choose to. So thanks for the suggestion, Sammy. That's great.
Yes, and don't forget, he's been committing crimes since he was 15 years old, if you want to add that to your letter.
Yep. All right. On the next page here, on the mandatory conditions of the supervised release, it says, upon release from imprisonment, he shall be on supervised release for 3 years. And then the conditions are, you must not commit another federal, state, or local crime. You must not unlawfully possess a controlled substance. You shall refrain from any unlawful use of a controlled substance. The defendant shall submit to 1 drug test within 15 days of release on supervision and to a maximum of 10 periodic drug tests a month thereafter for the term of supervision as directed by the probation officer. The cost to be paid by both the defendant and the government based upon the defendant's ability to pay. So that's 10 drug tests a month. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Then the box number 4 is checked, which it says the defendant shall cooperate in the collection of DNA as directed by the probation officer. I'm assuming that means urine. I'm just going to guess. I'm not positive.
Yeah, that's what I'm speculating. 100%.
Number 8 says you must pay the assessment imposed in accordance with the 18 USC and the statute information there. And then box 10 is checked where it says you must notify the court of any material change in your economic circumstances that might affect your ability to pay restitution, fines, or special assessments. You must comply with the standard conditions that have been adopted by this court as well as with any other conditions on the attached page, which is basically more conditions of his supervision if we go to the next page. But this one here, just goes into it. He has to see his probation officer 10 times a month and give them drug tests. And
he's also supposed to check in with his parole officer every single day. And from what I heard, one of the times was from 5 to 7. And sometimes he has to check in with his parole officer several times a day. This was not
that. Yeah.
This is not an easy get out of jail. Like, he had to do everything. He had to follow all the guidelines. Yes. We already know that he was bouncing around from shelter to shelter. He went and stayed with some woman for a little while in a house. Question to all of that is he turning all those different addresses into his parole, where he's going, where he's hopping to, and all that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of parole violations.
Well, I have not personally been ever involved with any I don't have a criminal record at all, and so I just know this from secondhand from what I've researched. But I'm pretty sure that these drug tests that he had to submit to, they were random. So yeah, if he was getting 10 random drug tests, then he definitely saw his parole officer way more often than that if they were trying to keep him on his toes about when he was going to receive one, Savannah
says, well, we can all say bye-bye to Jabba the Gut. This nickname has stuck with him for way too long.
Okay, standard conditions of supervision. So I'll go over these just so we can all be on the same page about it. As part of your supervised release, you must comply with the following standard conditions of supervision. These conditions are imposed because they establish the basic expectations for your behavior while on supervision and identify the minimum tools needed by probation officers to keep informed, report to the court about, and bring about improvements in your conduct and condition. 1, you must report to the probation officer you must report to the probation office and the federal judicial district where you are authorized to reside within 72 hours of your release from imprisonment, unless the probation officer instructs you to report to a different office within a different time frame. After initially reporting to your probation officer, you will receive instructions from the court or the probation officer about how and when you must report to the probation officer, and you must report to the probation officer as instructed. You must not knowingly leave the federal judicial district where you are authorized to reside without first getting permission from the court or your probation officer. You must answer truthfully the question asked by your probation officer, unless legitimately asserting your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination as to new criminal conduct. You must live at a place approved by the probation officer. If you plan to change where you live or anything about your living arrangements, such as the people you live with, you must notify the probation officer at least 10 days before the change. If notifying the probation officer in advance is not possible due to unanticipated circumstances, you must notify the probation officer within 72 hours of becoming aware of the change or expected change. You must allow the probation officer to visit you at any time at your home or elsewhere, and you must permit the probation officer to take any items prohibited by the conditions of your supervision that he or she observes in plain view. You must work full-time, at least 30 hours per week, at a lawful type of employment unless the probation officer excuses you from doing so. If you don't have a full-time employment, you must try to find full-time employment unless they excuse you from doing so. If you plan to change where you work or anything about your work, such as position of your job responsibilities, you must notify the probation officer at least 10 days before the change. If you can't, basically same as above. If you can't, then you have to do so at the best chance you can. You must not communicate or interact with someone you know is engaged in criminal activity. If you know someone has been convicted of a felony, you must not knowingly communicate or interact with that person without first getting permission of your probation officer. If you are arrested or questioned by a law enforcement officer, you must notify the probation officer within 72 hours. You must not own, possess, or have access to a firearm, ammunition, destructive devices, or dangerous weapons, anything that was designed or modified for the specific cause of causing bodily injury. You must not act to make any agreement with law enforcement agency to act as a confidential human source or informant without first getting permission from the court. If the probation officer determines that you pose a risk to another person, including an organization, the probation officer may require you to notify the person about the risk, etc., etc. And then the last one, you must follow the instructions of the probation officer related to the conditions of your supervision. So they wanted every little detail, even to the point where they wanted to know what his job responsibilities were. And if he was going to change them, they needed to know. They needed to know everything. Every little
thing. And just think about him getting kicked out of these shelters, and he's supposed to give 10-day notices before he moves to somewhere else. How can you do that if you're getting kicked out of shelters, if you're getting kicked out of homes and places you're staying?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let me go to the next page for you. Or does this pretty much cover it? I don't know what's on this next page. You're the one that has
let's see,
the information.
Additional. That's what I'm looking at here. No, I think it just is pretty general stuff. Again, must abstain from the use of and possession of alcohol, and shall not be present in any location where alcohol is the primary item of sale. So pretty standard terms, but also pretty tight. I mean, that, like we went over, that was, I mean, I don't know. I can't say for certain, but that seems excessive, or maybe not excessive, but extreme, I should say. And he wasn't living up to his end of the deal. I mean, if you're going to be released early from prison, you deserve some extreme rules to abide by, right? I mean,
absolutely.
That doesn't sound like too hard of something to comply with to me. So,
well, and he also lost one of his jobs too, and he's having to report things that have to do with his job.
He's not his job situation was crazy. He wasn't even just lost his job. He was actually being, like, almost in criminal activity with his job back then, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, he was
With the
keeping a
laptop?
laptop from one of his jobs. He told them, give me some money and I'll give you back the laptop or something like that, like basically holding this laptop hostage. And yeah, I mean, can you think of what happened if law enforcement ever got a hold of that laptop when it did get turned back in? If it got turned back in, you know,
Yeah.
they were interested in that, right?
Mm-hmm. I would hope.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
hope they
play
got
the
a hold.
rest of this just to let everybody know that we have the rest of this document, so nobody out in the YouTube streets can say we ain't got it all, because we got it all. Yeah, this is just so disturbing to think about, you know, him getting away with this. I hope when May comes that that's just not what happens and that he goes away for the remainder of his time
Yeah.
that he was supposed to continue serving before they let him out in November. And boo on them for even releasing them, as far as I'm concerned, because it's just, we see this too often, these criminals getting released from jail and then right back on the street doing the same, you know,
Yeah, just
ridiculous
repeating.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
repeat.
That's why they're repeat offenders. Unless there is a warrant for Brandon, they can't arrest him. Well, we've got information on warrants that he had, warrants that he squashed. That will be here in the future. We even have some court recordings of Brandon while he was in court, exactly what happened to Brandon, and information about the 2 times he was pulled over, the counties where he was pulled over. Stay tuned. We've got it all. So, yeah, let's hop right into, we have court documents on Stacey Wondra and exactly what he's in there for, and a recording of him while he's in jail talking about his probation violations. Here is his warrant.
His actual
arrest.
warrant. Yep. Yeah. The United States Marshal, they were going after him. They went and arrested him. Again, it was for violating the terms and conditions of his supervised release.
Which is a federal warrant. These are federal charges, people.
Yes.
This is for his trouble with the pew pew.
Yep.
When he went and spent 17 months out of 21, he was actually supposed to be sentenced for 3 consecutive. Yeah, this is federal.
And it says he was arrested on March 21st. So he's been in custody since March 21st.
8 days.
Yeah.
A week and 1 day.
Okay, let me see.
I kind of went in order of numbers, if that helps you at all.
I got it here.
We've already done the 60, so we're moving on to the others.
Okay, so this was the actual court motion to detain him, to get him arrested again. So it's from the United States. This is the United States filing this. It says the United States moves for an order directing the defendant Stacey James Wondra to be detained pending a preliminary hearing on or hearing and or a revocation hearing regarding the alleged violations of the terms and conditions of his probation or supervised release contained in the petition filed by the U.S. Probation Office. And then it kind of goes over some, why they believe he's guilty. And then at the bottom paragraph on the next page, we can go to the next page. It says, wherefore the government requests the court enter an order detaining the defendant pending a preliminary and or revocation hearing, respectfully submitted this 25th day of March 2024.
Yeah, and before I continue, I don't want to forget to mention that Stacey signs and waives his rights in a bond hearing during all of this that we believe, at least I believe, was done on purpose so that his probation violations weren't made public. because YouTube has had him on their panels talking to him. And yeah, he was afraid that we were going to get a hold of information. And he did this, I feel, to keep the public from knowing what every single one of his probation violations were. We know some of them,
Yeah.
and he mentioned some in the recording, but I just wanted to talk about that. Yeah.
I believe so too, because I have done some research on Stacey's background. Obviously, we've covered it in our lives before, and on the same sites that I was using to get information, now his information has been removed, which you can do. You can request your information be removed from sites. And it made me wonder, I mentioned to Samantha that, somebody in his life may have helped him. I don't know if he still has a good relationship with family or anything like that, and they're looking out for him or what. But yeah,
Or maybe
because
his
of that,
attorney.
yeah, I definitely think that that could be a motive there, Samantha. I agree.
You want me to move forward from this one, hon?
Yes, let's go on.
Okay.
Okay, and then this is it's basically just an entry, like a checklist of what happened. And as you can see right here, it goes check by check of what happened. It says defendant placed under oath. So Stacey was placed under oath. The court examined his current financial affidavit and appointed a CJA counsel. I don't know if that was a mistake. Supervised release petition was reviewed with Stacey. Stacey appeared in custody on the warrant, and then he waived his preliminary hearing. And then the bold one there says a final hearing on supervised release is set for Tuesday, May 28th at 9 a.m. So he's in jail until then.
Yep.
And yep. So yeah, he's just waiting to see what happens on May 28th. And maybe it'll get postponed because that happens all the time too. And maybe hopefully he just waits and waits more. And then this is his sworn affidavit of waiver to his preliminary hearing. He says, I understand that I have been charged with an offense in a criminal complaint filed in this court or charged with violating the terms of probation or supervised release. A magistrate judge has informed me of my rights of a preliminary hearing under this statute or to a preliminary hearing under another statute. I agree to waive my right to a preliminary hearing under those statutes. And that was signed and dated on the 26th, so 3 days ago.
Yeah, but that's some of the most recent information we were able to get.
And then this is his information that goes along with that waiver. So Stacey writes, I have appeared before a United States magistrate judge. Actually, before I continue, I should say his attorney writes for him and he signs the paper. I don't want to give him credit where credit is not due.
Right.
I have appeared before a United States magistrate judge in the District of Idaho who has advised me of my provisions under that statute and of my right to have a detention hearing pursuant to this Bail Reform Act of 1984. I've been advised that at the detention hearing, I would have the right to be represented by counsel, and if financially unable to obtain adequate representation, to have counsel appointed for me. I have been advised that at the detention hearing, I would be afforded an opportunity to testify, to present witnesses on my own behalf, to cross-examine witnesses who appeared at the hearing, and present information by proffer or otherwise. I knowingly and voluntarily waive my right to a detention hearing and further understand and agree that the court will enter an order of detention based on 1, the charging documents, and 2, on the information contained in the pretrial services report. So on and so forth. And then the order of detention says that, the defendant will be detained pending his trial again in May unless otherwise ordered by the court. It is further ordered that the defendant be committed to the custody of the United States Marshal for confinement in a correctional facility separate to the extent practicable from persons awaiting or serving sentences or being held in custody pending appeal. And it is further ordered that the defendant is afforded reasonable opportunity for a private consultation with her counsel. And I guess there's even more. It says, and
Oh, sorry. I was reading comments. And
and it is further ordered that the director of the correctional facility to which he is confined shall make him available to the United States Marshal for the purpose of appearance in connection with a court proceeding. So yes, there we go.
So he's in big trouble.
Yes. Yep.
And yeah, I mean, you hearing like United States Marshal and words like that, that just lets you know, like, he's not just in little time trouble. He's in big time trouble. Like,
yeah,
this is big. So this is the recording that we obtained. Stacey Wondra is in jail. He's having a conversation with somebody, and it isn't the greatest recording. We did our best to kind of clear it up, but yeah, he's kind of going over what happened and him going to jail. He mentions a few reasons why he went to jail and what parole violations he actually
what he got, what's he's in there for, what happened.
And then we'll go over more of his violations as soon as this recording's over.
Before we start, just to make it clear, this is his side of the conversation. The other person's side has been cut out for their protection. So just so you know, there might be bits and pieces where it sounds like what he's saying doesn't make sense. It's because it's in reply to a question or something that someone's saying to him. That's not included.
Let me see. I was trying. Hold on one second. I'm trying to do something real quick. I forgot how to do it. Hi, Callie. Nice to see you here, hun. And Brandi, if you're here and you're listening, you tell me, girlfriend, when you get here, because we know it's your birthday. We know it's your birthday. Yeah, let's play this video. Yep. Turn your volume up and pay attention, people.
I had to go meet with my PO yesterday, and I had a bad feeling about it because I've had a few violations. So I went and met with my PO yesterday at the court, and I went up to go meet with her and was named in the office. And the U.S. Marshals came up and were like, "You got a warrant for your arrest." I'm like, "Oh, cool. That's fucking awesome." So they took me to jail. I have an arraignment hearing on Tuesday at 11:45. Just, I don't know, it's a possibility. I mean, I have things going for me, I have been pointed and shit like that. But ultimately it's the judge's decision, and my attorney and I have to convince the prosecuting attorney, why it's a good idea to let me out. I'm not dangerous or anything, I had 16 of them. But they were all petty shit, because I'm supposed to report to her between 5 and 7 p.m. of every night where I'm going to be staying. And when she first set that stipulation on me, I struggled with it. So I have probably 7 or 8 of those, and then I have the 2 dirty UAs, but the 1 dirty UA for the whole people. I don't even know where I keep them. Somebody wants to sleep in the shelter. Then I have the meth one, and then I don't even know the other ones. Like, oh, leaving the state without permission when I went to Oregon. Just petty ones, man. I mean, stupid. But they're all violations, you know? So,
Wow.
Okay, so that's pretty much the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody heard that. I even had a hard time. Everybody turn up your volume. We're going to take this into pieces real quick for everybody, what we can understand. It's not the best recording. So let me back up here. Let's see.
I tried to add captions to this, and it just didn't work out. But I have read the words plenty of times, so I'll.
did a warrant.
Let's see.
So I went and
Okay, we got court docs. Let's let this just roll through real quick. Here we go.
I had to go meet with my PO yesterday, and I had a bad feeling about it because I've had a few violations.
He went to see his probation officer. He had a bad feeling. That's what I'm hearing there.
Yep, because he knew he had a few violations.
Yep, that's what else he says. Hi, Yaya. Nice to see you here. Poor Yaya. She had a headache so bad earlier today. Thank you for coming, doll. I hope you're feeling better. And let's continue with this.
So I went and met with my PO yesterday at the court, and I went up to go meet with her and was waiting in the office. And the U.S. Marshals came up and were like, "You got a warrant for your arrest." I'm like, "Oh."
U.S. Marshals were there, and they said, we got a warrant for your arrest.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. That's fucking awesome.
Just friggin', well, the other F-bomb, awesome. Just awesome, he says.
So I took me to jail. I have an arraignment hearing on Tuesday at 11:45.
He has an arraignment hearing on Tuesday, which was this past Tuesday.
Just, I don't know, it's a possibility. I mean, I have things going for me, you know, I have appointed and shit like that.
Can you understand what was said right there, Kalia?
That's what I mean about it. He's saying somebody must have asked him something because he says, I don't know, it's a possibility. So it's really misplaced and it feels like weird, but that is
maybe that person just was cut out of this recording or something. I don't know.
right.
Here we go.
You know, but ultimately it's the judge's decision, and my attorney and I have to convince the prosecuting attorney, you know, why it's a good idea to let me out. You know?
Yeah, why it's a good idea to let me out. So it's basically him and the lawyer's responsibility to let the judge know that it's a good idea to let him out, is what he just said.
Yeah, I love the word choice. Convince the judge.
Yeah,
Like
convince.
trick him or trick them. I don't like it.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not dangerous or anything, you know,
I'm not dangerous or anything. No, you're just a suspect in Michael Vaughan's abduction, and Michael Vaughan is gone. He passed, and you guys are responsible for this. You are one of the suspects, Stacey. You are responsible for Michael not being with his family anymore, totally not trying to take responsibility here for any of his actions. This is just irritating me.
I had 16 of them.
I had 16 of them. He's saying he had 16 probation violations.
But they were all petty shit, you know, because I'm
He was saying that they're all just petty stuff.
supposed to report to her between 5 and 7 p.m. of every night.
Supposed to report to his probation or parole officer between 5 and 7 every night.
Where I'm going to be staying. And when I
where he's staying.
First, when she first set that stipulation on me, I struggled with it. So I have like probably 7 or 8 of those, and then
7 or 8 of those struggling with not being able to tell her where he's at or struggling to make that phone call.
I have the 2 dirty UAs, but the 1 dirty UA, which I don't even know where it came from. Somebody wants to slip some in the shelter.
Yeah, let's talk about UAs for a minute because I noticed something. So here he's saying he failed 2, and then he says he failed 1. Imagine having to give 10 UAs a month, and they're all random. There are 4 weeks in a month, so that's times 2 is 8. So that's 2 UAs a week plus 2 other random wherever they want to throw them. I mean, that's a lot of UAs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then I have the meth one,
And I have the meth one, he says.
Well, that's what, that, okay, I wasn't sure if he had said it in that clip or because it's so muffled, but that's what I was waiting for. He first says, I don't even know where it came from. I think it was slipped to me in the shelter. And then I have the meth one. Oh
yeah.
My goodness. It's like, okay, so we're going to believe you that someone slipped you something in the shelter, but I don't know. Yeah. Obviously he has drug addict tendencies.
I've been saying it for months, Kaylee. You know it during our private phone calls. I've been calling this.
Yep.
He has not been clean. I know what someone looks
he
like.
didn't look like it.
Drugs.
Yeah, you pointed that out real quick.
I don't even know the other ones. Like, leaving the state without permission when I went to Oregon.
Yeah, leaving the state. He's talking about leaving Idaho. He's not supposed to be leaving Idaho. So he's getting in trouble for that.
Just petty ones, man. I mean, stupid. But they're all violations,
He's just saying they're all stupid, but they're all violations.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. And he is going
sitting
down
in jail. Yeah, he's sitting in jail because of those stupid little petty violations. If they're so petty, then why did you even do it? Was it so hard to not break the law 16 times and land yourself back in jail?
Right. I'm kind of looking over here, trying to see what everybody's saying. I'm going to keep this video or this recording handy in case we want to throw it up again later on for anybody else that comes in. But let's talk about some violations. You've got him leaving the state of Idaho. He's failing drug tests. I've heard not only for meth, but for morphine and fentanyl. He's hanging out with other criminals, other felons. We know Brandon Shurtliff isn't a felon. So he can't really get in trouble for hanging out with Brandon Shurtliff. Brandon is back in Idaho. And we will discuss whether or not they were both hanging out with each other. But it's just crazy to think of them actually hanging out together after they've been back and forth with each other on YouTube since Brandon did his first JLR interview. But yeah, Stacey was not contacting his parole officer every day like he was supposed to. I have a feeling he wasn't able to keep up where he was living, where more parole violations. Yeah.
Crime Sleuthen just joined us. Hello, Crime Sleuthen. I don't know if you're looking at the comment. She asked if we have docs on what violations he got picked up for. No, we believe that he waived his hearing, so that way those weren't, filed or released yet until he faces a trial. And then
he signed and waived his rights in a bond hearing, and we believe that he may have done that to keep his parole violations a secret for the public, at least until May 28th.
That's our speculation, because they aren't filed in his court paperwork. Yeah. Still, to hear him say 16 violations, even petty ones. That's a huge number. And it just leads me to believe, how long had he not even talked to his parole or probation officer? Because for it to stack up to 16, that's a lot to stack up against him.
Yeah, and I mean there was even talk about him having what do you call it, searches on his phone when he got arrested for pew-pews, firearms, however you want to say it, on his phone too. Like, he's not supposed to be doing that either. So yeah. Crime Sleuthins here. I caught a few minutes of Brooks earlier. Thought she said something about one of the violations was communicating with Sarah and Brandon. I was busy and don't know if I caught that right. Well, law enforcement has to know that Brandon and Sarah has been talking for a while, ever since I believe it was you that showed the picture of them talking in jail. And I don't know why he wouldn't be able to talk to Brandon. Brandon's not a felon. He just has a bunch of misdemeanors, from what I can tell. So I don't know. I know he's not supposed to be hanging out with felons. But like I was saying, Brandon is back in Idaho. And he's driving around in a little yellow car. And yeah, he's all over the place. He's been everywhere. He's been in Caldwell, Boise, Namba, Kuna. You know, was he traveling to Fruitland on his way to Ontario, Oregon? Like, he's everywhere. He's traveling around and he's getting pulled over.
Multiple times.
Yeah. On February 28th, Brandon had his attorney, because he got a new attorney. He got his attorney to file something with the court on February 28th to get his warrants squashed. Not one warrant, 2 warrants. I believe it's 2. One had a bond for $2,500. One had a bond for $2,000. And the judge didn't want to grant the squashing of those warrants without Brandon's present in court. So there was a court hearing that was issued for March 8th. And so Brandon could show up for court, because apparently he has a huge reputation for not showing up to court, which we're going to talk about here in a second. And on March 7th, his mommy, Tina Mariel, or his grandma, one of the two, helps Brandon pays his warrants off. And somebody helped him do it, because he ain't working right now. Yep. The day before his court appearance. So let's talk about these court documents. I'm going to add these up to the stage. And I believe
this was the first time he was pulled over.
Yeah, he gets pulled over on March 6th of this month, 2 days before his warrants are actually squashed. When he gets pulled over, I was just really asking myself, why wouldn't he go to jail for having a warrant for his arrest? And it could be because the counties weren't connecting, with each other when he got pulled over. Or it could be that the process of getting these warrants squashed was already in the works, and so it just didn't pick up. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll let you talk about the
Yeah. Well, he got pulled over because he didn't have insurance, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And this was the first time. And it, as you can see on the top where it says case type, it was just an infraction. A lot of times you can provide proof of insurance at the court, and they'll kind of give you traffic court. Maybe not Brandon Shurtliff because of his record, but it wasn't a criminal thing at this time. And about his, are we talking about warrants right now too, or just these tickets?
I've got all of the tickets here, so let's go over the tickets.
Okay.
I think this is the second part.
Oh yeah. Second part, here we go. So driving stop sign. So he failed to stop at a stop sign, and he didn't have insurance. Or at least he didn't have proof of insurance.
Right.
And then he had a citation for that. So, he could just go right on like I said, if he would have just gotten himself proof of insurance or whatever, it would have been no big deal. But about a week later, looks like, or maybe, 2 weeks later, on March 19th, he gets pulled over again, this time in Canyon County. The other time was in Ida County.
Which is Boise, and Canyon County is Kuna and what's the other one? Hold on a second, I have it written down.
Caldwell?
No.
I just guess that one's on
Nampa.
Nampa, there we go. Okay.
Nampa.
So he gets pulled over a second time, and his charge, is there a second page to this? I don't know. Because I only see one charge, and it's vehicle insurance.
Is this it?
So go back one more. I'm sorry. I wasn't ready all the way. I was just checking to see if there was a second charge hidden that I couldn't see. So yeah, if you look on that there, it says one charge, and it's failure to provide insurance as a second time. So because he didn't fix his insurance from...
Is this one the one?
Yep, that's it. From March 6th to March 19th, and he gets pulled over a second time, he gets now a misdemeanor criminal charge against him for this. And now he's going to have to face trial against this, plead guilty or not guilty or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you notice, the reason I pointed out and I wanted Samantha to go to the next page is his only charge is the insurance. Why was he pulled over?
Yeah,
you know?
and it makes you wonder, like, is he being followed around? Do they know he's in Idaho? Are they keeping an eye on him? He had court on the 8th. He had already gotten pulled over once. Now here he is running around again. But then you also have to think of the fact that Fruitland, Idaho only has like a couple investigators. So how much time are they really like able to put out there to like follow Brandon, I guess is what I'm saying. But I just think that it's kind of fishy. Like, I just am wondering if that's what's going on. Does law enforcement know he's there? Do they know that he's being followed? Well, of course they know he's there because he's gone to court. I'm just saying, are they following him?
Yeah, right.
And, you know, we got
wonder.
Bigfoot Barbecue that says that Ted Bundy got pulled over a few times and he was sent on his way. That's a very true statement. Yeah, and then we could move forward on this one.
And then this just says, again, his arraignment, where that means that's where, he'll be actually told his charges. That is going to be on April 9th. So it hasn't even happened yet.
Yep. And so I think after this is the recording of Brandon in court on the 8th, getting his warrant squashed, what his conditions are, what he has to do, how he has to do them until he returns to court, I believe May 8th, I want to say. May 6th or May 8th, I think.
May 8th, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is May 8th. And I'm getting the two confused because Stacey Wondra's court appearance is for May 28th. So that's what it was. Yeah, so this recording is almost 10 minutes long. I don't want to do a bunch of pausing and stuff because it would just like make this 10-minute recording drag out to 30 minutes, and we can do that, or we can just listen to it and be done with it. Because we've pretty much already explained what the court hearing is about. He went to the courthouse the day before his court hearing to pay for his warrants, and if you know Brandon and you know this case, you know that was his mama or his grandma helping him pay those fines because he is not working. So thanks, Mama, for helping the criminals stay out on the streets. We appreciate you. Yeah, so let's just listen to it. Listen what the judge has to say.
Do I have Brandon Shurtliff? This is case CR 2020-18238 and case CR 2021-8330.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Counsel, I don't think I saw you. Did you file a notice of
I
appearance?
did. I filed it
Oh, I see it
yesterday
now.
morning.
It just cleared through the queue. I didn't see it earlier today. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor, for giving me a moment there.
Of course. Mr. Williams, I did see the notice of appearance filed.
Okay, thank you.
We also have Mr. Smith, the prosecutor, present. Today we're scheduled for a hearing on a motion to quash warrants in both of these cases. In both of these cases, Mr. Shurtliff, you were placed on probation following a sentencing by the court. A petition for a probation violation was filed on November 28th of 2022 in case ending in 18238. And then case ending in 8330, a petition for probation violation was entered on November 2nd of 2022. There was a warrant issued in the case ending in 18238, and bond was set in the amount of $2,500. In the other case, warrant was issued and bond was set in the amount of $2,000. Given your presence today, the court's inclined to grant your request to quash these warrants. Mr. Smith, state's position.
Your Honor, given the fact that Mr. Shurtliff is back in the state and is making an appearance voluntarily, there's no objection to quashing the warrant here for his failures to appear.
Thank you, counsel. I am going to grant the request. I'll be quashing these warrants. And since we're here today, I'm going to have Madam Clerk, Ms. Williams, give your client a rights form for his review.
Okay. Would you like us to step back while you take up something else so you can fill this out?
If he needs a moment, that's fine.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't we do that? And then that way...
I think I have another case I can call.
Okay, well, if you don't, then we'll stay here, but if you do, we'll step back so you
No,
can
I've
take it
got
up.
another case.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
All right.
And then Mr. Shurtliff, Mr. Williams, if you're ready,
We are, Your Honor.
we'll go ahead and take up your cases again.
Okay.
All right. Court once again is taking up State of Idaho versus Brandon Shurtliff. We did pass this case just for a moment to allow Mr. Shurtliff to review a rights form. Mr. Shurtliff, did you have an opportunity to review that form, sir?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, that document explains the rights that you have in this case concerning this probation violation. Do you have any questions about your rights?
No, sir.
Okay, sir. In this case, I previously noted that there were petitions of probation violations filed in both cases back in November of 2022. If the court were to find that you are in violation of any of the conditions of your probation, the court could revoke your probation and impose the underlying sentences. In case ending in 18238, at sentencing, there was a $300 fine. I suspended all $300, so I could impose the full fine. Looks like there was 60 days credit, and there were 30 days, 20 days of which were suspended and 10 days of which was discretionary jail days. So there's 30 days that the court could still impose in case ending in 18238. And then in case ending in 8330, similarly, there was a $300 fine. Court suspended all $300. So the court could impose that full fine, as well as the remaining 30 days that were either suspended days or discretionary jail days to probation. Mr. Shurtliff, do you understand the potential penalty in this case?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do we want to set this for a probation violation hearing?
We've talked about potential settlement. I'm okay with that now, with them being quashed, if that's what you want to do.
Judge, yeah, so I guess there's two options. Mr. Shurtliff, I've spoken with Mr. Williams a little bit here, and he can admit to one of the violations, and we can we can either set out disposition or we can move to disposition today. And the recommendation from probation was reinstatement with a sanction of SILD. I've not heard from probation since this probation violation was filed in November of 2022, so I don't exactly know where they stand on everything.
And we don't have misdemeanor probation today.
And we don't, so I wonder if it might be better to set out disposition after admission.
Okay.
But I'll submit to the discretion of the court with respect to what.
And just, if we proceed with the admission today, it'd be in one case only, and it would be for only one of the violations. Is that court's understanding?
Judge, I think they are the same probation violation allegations in both cases. If I'm correct here. So if he admits to one allegation in both cases, then the state would withdraw the remaining allegations, so this court doesn't have to read through all those.
All right, thank you. All right, so normally when the state withdraws, if there's going to be admission of one violation, withdraws the remaining. Unless there's a specific condition that the state would like, I just use the first violation. Any opposition to that, that's the condition of probation, immediately report to misdemeanor probation, comply with the rules and reporting requirements. All right, hearing no opposition to that. Mr. Shurtliff, so you heard the discussions between the attorneys and the court. Court's understanding was that we would be proceeding today with you making an admission to one condition of probation violation under each case, and the state would withdraw the remaining violations, and we would set out disposition to a later date, likely for you to reestablish contact with probation and get in their good graces, and then we can come back and then proceed with the disposition, which is essentially the same thing as a sentencing. Is that your understanding as well, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I've just explained to you that there is a possibility that if we proceed with, you make an admission and we proceed with the disposition, I could impose the underlying sentences, which we've already covered. You understand that as well?
Yes, sir.
And you understand if you make an admission, that means we do not have an evidentiary hearing on either case. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sir. I'll let you draw your attention to the reports of violation. They are dated on the same date of November 1st of 2022 in both cases. Counts one, or the first condition of probation that's alleged to have been violated, is the same condition under both cases, and it concerns the condition that if you're on supervised probation, you were to immediately report to misdemeanor probation department and comply with the rules and reporting requirements. And it is alleged that you violated this condition of probation when you missed your scheduled probation meeting on October 6th of 2022, October 25th of 2022, and as of the date of the writing of this report, there had been no contact. Mr. Shurtliff, sir, do you admit or deny this violation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. I am going to accept your admissions to the one violation under both petitions. And what we will do is set out disposition. Mr. Williams, is there a specific time that you'd like to have to allow your client to establish a good track record with probation?
Well, Judge, I'd like a little bit of time so we can do that, as well as he didn't get the evaluations. That's one of the other violations that's alleged. And so I'd like him to be able to do that so the court has everything that it should have in front of it. He's paid up. He's actually prepaid on supervision fees.
Finally got him paid.
He's actually prepaid on supervision fees, so I would like a little bit of time for him to be able to do that.
What are you thinking about 2 months?
Yeah, a month and a half or 2 months would be good.
I'll see what Madam Clerk has as far as a disposition date. And then, Mr. Shurtliff, it sounds like you've corrected a lot of the issues that you were having initially with your probation. But I tell this to everyone when I set out disposition on a probation violation. The ball's in your court at this point. I'm going to take into consideration everything that you've done previously, as well as what you've done since you entered your admission. So if you're in good contact with probation and you're in compliance, you're following the direction of your attorney, there is a good chance that I'm just going to place you back on probation. However, if we come back for disposition and I hear, well, he checked in one time, or I heard from him yesterday, that was the first time in the last 6 weeks, then you could probably expect there won't be as high of a possibility of you being placed back on probation. So I just wanted you to be aware of that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Do you have a meeting for May 8th at 1:30?
May 1st or May 8th at 1:30.
I'm in jury trial on the 1st, so can we do the 8th?
Okay, let's pick the 8th then. May 8th, 2024 at 1:30 in the afternoon for disposition on both cases, and that will be here at the Canyon County Courthouse.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And
So there you go. You got that one. He is paid up on supervision fees. He's getting a warning, letting them know, like, it's on you to be good. And he's already mess that up, getting that misdemeanor, because I heard something about him not supposed to be getting in trouble either. So I just want to thank Past for the amazing super sticker, because guess what, everybody? This is our first one. What?
Woohoo! Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Bass. I was about to say the same thing. Our first one, how exciting. And I love your little Snoopy emoji. Thank you so much. And we
Yeah.
appreciate the compliments as well. Because, yeah, it definitely takes a lot of time and effort to put all this together. Thank you, Samantha, for getting it all for us so we can see what we're talking about here, you know?
Well, so your court doc queen, it's literally mumbo jumbo when it's being read, talked about, or anything in a court. All I hear is womp 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 womp. I don't understand it. I really don't. Matter of fact, on that subject, so what do you take out of all of this, Kalia?
I think Hot Mess put it perfectly here. They wrote he's taking care of his warrants because he's not living out of state anymore due to irreconcilable differences where he was staying. He had no choice but to come back to Idaho, and then they continue, mommy is paying off the warrants. It's the only way he can get a job. And that's true. You can't go get a job easily if you have warrants for your arrest, or, you know, you risk it every time you drive down the road. I do.
Yeah, and with him being suspect in the the Michael Vaughan's abduction, when indictments come out, I'm sure he doesn't want any dirty stuff floating around.
Yes.
When the judge looks at him then too.
Right. You stole my words exactly.
That's actually what I think's going on here. That's why I think he's clearing it up. Whoa, yeah.
Oh my
girlfriend,
goodness.
I love you.
That's so kind.
Y'all are so good to us. Thank you so much.
That's super.
I didn't even know you guys could do this. So the plan was to get our supers. We have our name of the different levels that we want for our memberships and everything else. And we so appreciate you, y'all. Thank you so much. Congratulations on being monetized. Loved you too. We love you. Yeah. We were going to get our membership set up. We were going to get, our loyalty stuff and everything. We just kept coming on to more and more and more information. The live got bigger and bigger and bigger, and we had no time to do that.
That got backburnered. Yes.
Yeah, it definitely got backburnered. I'm so thrilled. These are like our first. I am like whoop whoop because I like first. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, it feels good because we had butterflies doing this, so you guys are so kind to us. It feels good. But
Pat gave us another $4.99.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
Wow, you guys.
Pat.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. And Yaya says, I forgot. And damn, Past beat me to it. Y'all are awesome. Thank you guys. Congratulations, Savannah says. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, super, super excited. Thank you guys. We wouldn't have our show without all of you. And you guys have always been so welcoming. So we're super, super excited. And Dawn Grandma sends a super sticker. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I think you're new. Dawn Grandma, I haven't seen you here before. Thank you for being here. Mm-hmm. Thank you for subbing up and being a part of this wonderful team we got going on for these missing kids.
Yes. Yep. We're excited. We just to take a little break here. Thank you, Crime Sleuth. We are really excited for the future because I don't know about you, Samantha, but I'd describe it as like hitting the ground running. We have a lot of great plans and to be more regular and Yeah,
I felt like I hit the ground a few times before I started running, but now I'm running.
Right. We've caught up finally. It took a couple trips, but we have caught up. So,
Crime Sleuth, thank you so very much. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a mod. Yaya, thank you for being a mod. We really appreciate all of our mods, all of our members. Thank you guys. I'm just super excited to see where we go, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I think we have, I mean, so many missing kids out there that we want to help make differences in, and that, that's just one part of what we want to do. We really want to make a difference and impact these cases, and do our best. So it feels good that you guys think that we're doing great work. Thank you for all the kudos. We're on the right track, apparently.
Yeah. So let's talk about what is outrageous to me, okay?
Okay.
What is outrageous to me is since 2011, Brandon's been in trouble with the law. That is 12 years, 13 years.
Wow.
13 years he's been in trouble. In one bond hearing, it was mentioned that Brandon didn't show up for 11 court hearings, 11 times. And there have been 11 warrants issued for failure to appear. So this whole going to court on the 8th and getting his warrant squashed and getting a hearing for, May 8th. How many of you guys in chat put a 1 for yes? If you guys think that Brandon Shurtliff is going to show up on May 8th to this court hearing after getting a misdemeanor for getting pulled over on the 19th, because something inside me tells me he's not even going to make it to court. Maybe his mommy, maybe his grandma will help him pay off something or do something or give his attorney more money to make something happen. Who knows? Because he's not paying for a damn thing. But yeah, 11 warrants issued for failure to appear in court.
Right.
And those are for the 11 times he didn't show up. He has had 12 misdemeanors he's been convicted for, 3 probation violations, 8 of which are for all controlled substances and paraphernalia. 5 current open cases, 3 pre-trial violations for failure to take UAs. Now, let me ask you this. Again, here we go with, here is another suspect in the Michael Vaughan's abduction who has been getting saved by his mommy, by his grandma. The court system is failing him. His family's enabling him. He's getting a slap on his wrist constantly, and now we have an abducted child that is dead. How is this okay?
Yeah.
Why does the system keep failing us?
Right. And you know what? Even if you listen to that court thing that you just played, I mean, it sounded pretty easy going on him. Another just slap on the wrist, and they even were telling him, if you behave, it will just be a slap on the wrist. And it's like, how many slapped on the wrist do these people have to have? Obviously, the system is broken. Just crazy.
Well, yeah. Well, and you hear the judge say, well, it looks like, Brandon, that you've been clearing up some of your, what? Bite me. Stop slapping them on the wrist, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's do something about these criminals. It's just really ticking me off, actually, because of the court system, because of, family members and other people in, some of the suspects' lives. Like you were even saying, somebody must be helping Stacey Wondra along, helping him do what he's got to do to get some court records, where we can't see them anymore or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
People need to stop enabling these people. We got to stop the cycle here,
Yeah, repeat offenders will continue repeating unless you break that cycle. And none of these criminals have been held accountable, like in a true sense. They all have been released early or been given good behavior. I mean, we've read Stacey's own letters. He can't take accountability for anything. He blames his mental disabilities for his actions, and then he even said in his own words that he needs to convince the judge to let him go, right, and that he's a good guy. It's like, okay, how many times does this person have to show you that they're not, and that they don't care about the law? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's shameful to see the way that, the courts and just everything has just fallen apart, really. I mean, way back in the day, the law was the law and you abided by it or you got in trouble. And unfortunately, we live in a world where there's so much going on, so many people getting arrested, so many people getting put in prison and jail. They don't have room anymore. They don't have any room to put all these people. This is what I think the problem is, in my opinion. Like you have more pedophiles out there than you do people looking for pedophiles. I say put all of those in their own little prison and let them all just have at it or something. And then there's, well, I won't say that because I'm live, but y'all get the point. I just, yeah. So, and let's talk about Brandon being in Idaho. How many people in chat, put a 1 there if you know the suspects. How many of you guys think that Stacey and Brandi are, I do that all the time and I get so irritated. Brandi, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. The bees got my tongue, okay?
Yes,
How
the
many
tongue
people,
twister.
yeah, how many people think that Stacey and Brandon have gotten together and had conversations with one another since he's been back? In my opinion, I think they have.
That's my personal opinion as well. If I'm thinking like a criminal, yeah, I'd want to keep that relationship as like, you know, I would want to keep them as appeased. You know, they both have information on each other and that can put them both away for a long, long, long time. So,
well, here you have him in Idaho. And, you know, a month or so ago, I don't know. I didn't even know how long it's been since Stacey Wondra decided to start talking on YouTube or when Brandon did his JLR interview, but it's been a couple months or so. And, you know, Amy from Boston, I love ya, girl. Good to see you here. I see you everywhere. We talk all the time in the chats. She is a sleuth just like us. Yeah, okay, I lost my train of thought, but now I'm back on. Okay, so he's back in Idaho. You have had them feuding on YouTube. They've been going at each other right and left, right? I took screenshots from a TikToker. The TikToker is True Crime, The Missing. She does a lot of stuff on a lot of different things, mostly Michael Vaughan. She's kind of like Mandy, who also does a lot of videos and flyers and stuff for Michael. But I took some screenshots last month and I've been waiting to use them, okay? And these screenshots are of Brandon in TikTok comments talking about what good people the Wondras are. He's actually like, yeah, you guys have to see this. Let's throw this up. Because now you can't see them anymore. So I'm really glad that they took these because he deleted his comments. Imagine that. So I got to get out my phone to read these because I always have like this little thing in my way when I throw them up on a video.
looks like BZ is Brandon's username there.
Yes, it is. So basically, up at the top, Stacey Wondra, when discussing getting kicked out of a hotel recently, it's just a TikTok that had mentioned some stuff about Stacey Wondra and stuff. And then the BZ says, first of all, the duffel bag still remains clean, proving that Stacey is not lying on that actually 100%. Proving that Stacey is not lying on that 100%. He's literally sticking up for Stacey and this duffel bag. And it says, this case eats me. They know what happened to the boy. And then you have the creator there. You know, they do know what happened to Michael Vaughan. Of course they do. There's four suspects in this case: Stacey Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Adrien Lucienne, and Brandon Shurtliff. And he's in here protecting him, you know, Stacey right now with this. And then let's move on to this next one. I was just floored.
Yeah, that is bold. I mean, that's a really bold thing to write on social media.
Yeah. He says
As the
here,
suspect, geez Louise. I mean,
Is this
criminals
the
aren't
same
smart,
one?
sorry.
Did I put up the same one in the same what?
Oh, it is. It is the second one of the same. I was wondering. Oh, there we go.
Okay. That made me nervous. Hopefully I have the other ones. If not, I'll post it because I think I have 4, maybe I have 5. Anyway, this one says, Stacey and Sarah, it's the BZ, you guys, follow me. I'll, you know, post this up something or something here soon, but Stacey and Sarah are great people. Hashtag innocent with an exclamation mark. What?
Right. It just is
Good
bizarre.
people. Hasn't he been talking about how bad people they've been for months? And he's talking about them being innocent. Why? Yeah, he went back and deleted this stuff because he literally thought to himself, what the hell was I doing? What was I doing?
Right. Maybe after having a couple beers and then realizing, uh-oh, shouldn't write that. Yeah, that is just crazy. I mean, honestly, I mean, I don't know what I would do if I were the suspect. You know, if I don't know how I would behave, but I just seem that's so incriminating, especially to comment on the duffel bag, like in particular. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of creepy, isn't it? And then this says, well, the creator here of this TikTok, they say, really? What is so great and innocent about them? And BZ replies, well, they seem to have helped the community out quite a bit before, duh. What? With their taxi service? With their pretending to love God so much when they only really started all of that after Michael Vaughan was abducted and Sarah decided to start talking about that continuously on her TikTok? They were all both just, and I'm sorry, you hear Stacey Wondra talk in all of these interviews. Come on. How good was he really for the community?
I know. I haven't heard anybody say anything great that they were doing for the community. They were always scheming for money. They were always doing weird things for money. I mean, I don't know, just
they were hanging out with RSOs.
Yes.
They
exactly.
were doing drugs. There's been talk that maybe they were even selling drugs. So yeah, well, what were they doing good for the community? Getting people addicted to drugs? Come on now.
Sammy even writes, before what? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. What? Before what? Before they hurt a child? Like, I don't know. That is an interesting word to add to the end of that sentence. Before.
Yeah, wow. And then there's one of his profile pictures, old like TikTok profile pictures that he also uses around. He doesn't have this right now, but because he's changed it and he changes stuff multiple times on his Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you can find him. He's always, changing his stuff. But this was the TikTok at the time, I believe. Or wait, no, this was in 2022. These screenshots are from literally last month or maybe a little bit over.
Yeah, different username. Yeah. But he does have a P at the end of that one.
This is his old Facebook account. I want to look at something real quick. Bear with me for just 1 second while I look up. I want to make sure that I didn't forget any, since I did have doubles of the one. Yeah, and when he says he had helped the community quite a bit before, duh. And then the creator says, why don't you follow me so I can message you and get your take on them? Sounds like you must follow the case.
Yeah.
Sounds like you must follow the case. Yeah, Stacey and great people. And then okay. I had to make sure, and it's because I actually took 2 screenshots of the same thing, and that's why it all got downloaded. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay, so this is Brandon's old Facebook. See that little yellow car that he's got?
Mm-hmm.
Is his new Facebook profile. Bran Rads. He thinks he's a DJ up there in his little profile. Apparently, he thinks he can fish. I'll outfish you any day, guarantee you, with my 160 pounds of salmon every year. Just joking. I won't let my ego get to it. Okay.
I mean, you ain't lying though. You ain't lying.
I ain't lying though. I do get that much salmon. I don't know
Mhm.
how well he fishes, but I guarantee maybe my fish are bigger. No.
Oh, that's great, man. This is the first time seeing this just along with everyone else, and right off the bat, you just
This
gotta
is because
love.
I forgot about it. And look, here's his little yellow car that he thinks is the little yellow car from his first profile.
What
on
an
Facebook.
upgrade, man. Oh, his dreams came true, Brandon.
I
Oh,
laughed so friggin' hard, and he's like sporting red, white, and blue bandanas and stuff, hanging them from his mirror, and I'm just like, really? Come on.
oh
Come
my
on.
goodness.
Brandon,
You just gotta love how his profile is so like faked out. He doesn't want anyone to know that's him. Oh man.
yeah, this is the car he was getting pulled over in.
Yep.
And he's like, twins, black and yellow, talking about that calico cat and
I will
his yellow
say
vehicle.
that's a cute cat. I love kitties.
We love kitties, but we don't
Mhm.
like your car, Brandon, okay?
Right. Oh, that's funny that his old profile picture is yellow and then this is his new car.
Yeah,
That's quite
I thought it
comical.
was hilarious. And then, that's his post on his car right there. And look, Mama Tina Mariel down in the comment section supporting her son with her little
Waving
pink
from
car.
waving from her
Tina.
emoji car. Oh my gosh.
Come on, stop supporting your son. Stop giving him money. Stop paying for his attorney. Stop enabling your son. Make him pay for the things that he has to do. Because I'm guaranteeing you right now, your son's going to be getting into an awful lot of trouble, and there ain't going to be a damn thing you can do to save him. Okay? So stop enabling your son.
Mhm.
Just stop it. Yeah. Sorry. Had to get
Some of the
serious.
comments are funny. Amy says I have secondhand embarrassment for her. I think we all can feel that way right now. That was funny.
I thought I had something. What did I have? Did I have
Those
it?
are your last 2 cases with me.
It was, Your Honor. Thank
Have a
you.
good weekend. You're free to go. Good luck to
You
Mr.
too.
Shurtliff.
I did. See? I'm glad I remembered.
Uh-huh.
So let's talk about this, because on the 11th of March, we've been trying to figure out if there wasn't a warrant.
It says
Leah,
warrant
you go with it.
returned. Okay, so Samantha and I have gone back and forth because just on the 8th, he has an order quashing it and recalling a warrant. So that's a court order. And then on the 11th, there's this new filing saying warrant returned. And if you notice it's in red, that is obviously, as it says, a judge would need to approve releasing that document to us, just like the other the other red ones on the top, which included the warrant issued on November 2nd. Idaho protects warrants. They don't just release them as public record like a lot of states do. So the fact that this warrant right here says warrant returned, I looked into that, and it says that that means that they tried to issue another warrant, but were unsuccessful in actually giving it to him or serving
Maybe
it.
serving him. Yeah.
Yes. And
Not
so,
100%.
yeah, we're
just
not
gonna-
positive. But
Thank
I
you.
will say the fact that it's red makes me double down on my speculation that he might have gotten a second warrant on March 11th, because why wouldn't they give it to me? You know, if it was, I don't know. They gave us the information quashing and recalling the warrant, but not
Right.
this other one. So it just made me think, is it because it's a whole separate one? And yeah.
Since we're not going to 100% say we verified this, because we have not, we're not saying that he does have a warrant. We're saying
Right.
in our opinions, we believe he might
Yes,
have
he
a
very
warrant,
he very
or may have
well
been,
could. Mhm.
yeah,
Or
almost
he could
served
not.
with one. But here's the thing. He has court on the 8th, and he has to do some things. He has to go sign up, you know, because didn't they want him to sign up for like his probation stuff and his supervised stuff that they
Yeah,
were
to
talking he
follow
had
through
already
all that
prepaid
stuff.
for?
Yeah.
Yes. So if he didn't follow through with any of those things, maybe that's why there's a possibility he could have a warrant out here. I'm
Yeah.
so glad I remembered this, because when I started complaining about Tina giving him money and stuff, I remembered, wait a minute, we have this other information. It was hiding at the very, very end of my other video, and I'm glad I didn't take it down. But yeah, he could possibly, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he did something, you know, maybe he didn't do something that he was
Right.
supposed to do after court. So
You know,
who knows?
that
But it's
time
showing up.
frame matches what you said. It's
Mhm.
within that time. So if he didn't do it within the amount of time, which is like, you know, Stacey's was 72 hours, maybe he didn't. That's a good theory. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, I just in my opinion, I believe there could be, and if there is, I feel like it's because he didn't do something he was supposed to do on the 8th.
Yeah,
You know.
that would make perfect sense.
So let's remove that. And yeah, we have information on Adrien and some of his criminal activity that happened over the summer. And we also have a bench warrant that we know was sent out in December. And yeah, we're fixing to talk about all of that. I want to play a video that I have right now, because we're going to put up a banner real quick for Michael Monkey Vaughan. He was abducted on July 27th of 2021 in Fruitland, Idaho. If you have any information about his abduction, please call the tip line at 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. No tip is ever too small, you guys, so remember that. Lots of tips have been coming in. We're about to go over these tips too, because Fruitland Police Department has been receiving a lot. Let's see.
Yeah.
I just want to play a monkey video. It's probably like around the middle of our live. After we give up the rest of this information, we're just going to sit and talk with everybody. If you guys have any questions about everything we put up, we'll be glad to answer your question. I just wanted to take the time to do a little bit of a mini break, see some beautiful faces. And of course, we're going to wish BRANDI a happy birthday soon too. I hate it when I forget to take that cap cut off my videos. Again, Michael Vaughan was abducted by 4 people. Stacey and Sarah Wondra, Adrien Lucienne, Brandon, Shurtliff. They lived around the corner from the Vaughn's home. Michael left the house to go play with friends. And sadly, there were some pretty messed up people out there looking to abduct a child. And that's when Michael was abducted after leaving his home. Again, if you guys have any tips about the suspects, have the suspects talked to you? Do you know anything at all? Has any of them tried throwing you under the bus? Because from what I understand, Adrien Lucienne wants to keep throwing people under their bus and keep throwing out names, saying this person, and that person, and this person, and this person, and that person could possibly be involved in Michael Vaughan's abductions. But I'll tell you right now, Adrien Lucienne pissed some people off is what he did. Now some people are running over to Fruitland Police Department like, let me just tell you the truth. Let me tell you what's going on.
That's a good thing, honestly. I mean, it's crazy to think about, but everything happens for a reason, and you pointed it out yourself. If you've had any weird interactions with these people, it is worth bringing it up. I mean,
yeah, you can call the tip line at 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. You can call in anonymously. You can email from a whatever account. Just do your job. Do your job to help this family get some closure, get what they need so that they can move on, because all they want is their son home. And they want to move on. They want to walk away from this nightmare and never look back. And they deserve that. They deserve to be able to walk away from this, because Lord knows it will be the rest of their lives before they'll ever be able to forget it.
Yeah, exactly. At least a little closure along the way.
All right, so let's take that down and let's talk about Adrien. Adrien. We got a message for you. I'll wait to play that. But everybody wants to stick around for this message that we want to send to Adrien. And
it's crazy that, these three suspects are just, again, we've already said, they're just repeat offenders. And all three of them have crap going on legally right now, in addition to Michael's case. And
I kind of thought of that today when I was throwing together this script. I'm noticing, wow, Stacey's got a history. Wow, Brandon's got a history.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Adrien's got a history. Adrien's been busted for, big time meth busts with a lot of methamphetamines, you guys.
Yep, his names have been in news articles even before Michael's case for that. So yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, he has a rough. He runs with the rough crowd, I should say, the crowd that isn't afraid to live a life full of breaking the law, and making a living by doing so.
Yeah, it's insane, And he's the one. Michael Vaughan comes up missing. Boom! I'm out of here. I'm gone. See you later. And then he's just so hard to track down. You don't know where he's at. You don't know what he's doing. Well, guess what? He didn't hide from us too well. We were able to find some recent stuff. So that's what we want to share with you guys now. We know that he has been in Washington, D.C. and Maryland. We know he's going back and forth from both of those areas to Ohio. He could actually currently be in Ohio because of the warrant that's out for his arrest right now in Maryland. But we do know that that's what he was doing. According to documents that we were able to get, that Kaylia was able to get. Thank you so much, Doll, for all your hard work.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
I don't know what I would do without you to explain court documents, get court documents. She's tried teaching me, you guys, a dozen times, and I get so lost. And like she's told me before, like you put one wrong word in and you're starting all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Computer dinosaur, everybody knows it. So Yeah, I better turn on my comments now. Get over here. Okay. Thanks everybody for supporting. Monkeys Army is written up here everywhere. Thank you guys so much. We love BRANDI and the family. I actually watched, I don't know if you know it, Kaylia, but Blue got up on panel on,
Yeah.
was it, oh my God, I'm going to forget his name.
I can't remember.
Getting his name. His real name's Levi. I know that. Level-headed. Thank you.
Okay. I was going to say that, but I just didn't want to throw out the wrong one and give, there you go.
Live this week. He hasn't been on the live for a long time, but he put one up and Blue came up.
That's so awesome.
She was up there talking.
How brave.
Yeah. Talking about her mom, talking about, Michael and him missing and what she's gone through, going to school and talking about how wonderful her parents are and what a great stepfather Tyler is. I loved it. It was great. I caught it after about 30 minutes of it. But if you guys, go over there and watch it. It was really good. I love seeing Blue, and she sings that song, for her mom. That's recorded out there somewhere. Purple plays it a lot. But yeah.
That's really awesome. And so brave.
Yeah, she is a good young lady. She's a very, very good young lady. And her mama, they got some strength, man. I'm telling you what.
Mm-hmm.
Just, they've got some strength. Hi, Chaos Queen. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, let me add this to the stage. I hate to switch from such beautiful topic to
I know. I always hate that.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. This is again in Montgomery County in Maryland. So, yeah, it has his address right there, and it says doesn't have his charge on this page, but we can just talk about. You want to talk about his address?
It's all part of the documents. We can go through the documents that we're going to talk about his address, and we'll just go with the flow with this. But yeah, the court filing here was July 17th of 2023, and it has his address of 828 Evart Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., and we know that that's a shelter. We'll get to that. And then I will let you talk about the charges.
I'll just say he's pretty tall, 6'4". He's tall.
This is one of...
Look at this selfie.
He likes to take pictures of himself before he gets in the showers or like in the bathroom before his day gets started or something. I don't know. I kind of feel like, why don't you take a shower first?
He looks glistening, like he might have gotten out of a sauna or something.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh, good Lord. That's right. So, here we go.
All right. So, these are his, these were his trial dates. So first it was on a preliminary hearing on August 28th. And then he had a trial scheduled for October 13th, but it actually got pushed back, I think, until December 14th. And that's when he did not appear. So he did not appear to that trial on December 14th. And they issued a warrant for him at that time for failure to appear, just like his good friend Brandon. Birds of a feather.
Oh, good Lord. I have to post this up because my brother-in-law. I saw a Bigfoot that looked like him. Everybody meet my brother-in-law. Love it. And then let's move forward to, I believe the next one should be his charges. Oh, no. It's another picture.
No worries. So he got his first charge, burglary, 4th degree. So, he went and broke and entered somewhere. And then his second charge is malicious destruction of property valued under $1,000. So both of those are misdemeanors, and he did not appear in court, and he had that warrant issued on December 14th, 2023, and it's still active.
Yep. So December, you guys, we're talking just a few months ago. And I thought it was amazing that you found this information, Kalia, because we literally haven't heard anything about where he is, where he's at, what he's doing, any warrants, like, because you can't find him. He not only does he go everywhere, he changes all of his profiles constantly. If
Yeah.
anybody finds him and what, and you know what? You can tell that he's a good criminal because he does such a good job at the hiding part.
Yes.
Ever since he's taken off from Fruitland, Idaho, you can't pinpoint him down. And as soon as somebody does, he's changing stuff up again. And we're going to talk about that. Just remember, he is a good criminal. He is good at what he does. Okay. Just keep that in mind when we go forward and talk about some other stuff here in a minute. I'm not sure what these lists are.
These are the actual documents that are filed, and you can see the dates. This is just from their website information, had I actually gone forth, I might have been able to get actual court filings for these dates, whatever they were. So I just didn't go that far, but yeah, because he didn't show up. If there were anything from his side, like, that's part of the reason why I'm always interested in court documents, is honestly, it's like a back and forth story. Like, nope, I'm saying I'm right because XYZ. And then the court says, well, this XYZ. So because he didn't show up, I wasn't interested in going that far. If he does ever show up, then yeah, we can see what he says, what he did, what his explanation is.
Yeah. And then I think there's one more page of that, like another list of court documents, the hoodlum.
Yep.
Yeah. More of those that you were just speaking about. Another picture. So this I want to talk about. Pathways to housing. This is the shelter where he was staying. Well, it's the last known address that the court system had that is on his court documents when they issue the arrest and stuff, or issue the warrant. So this was his last known address. It's at like 828 Evarts in Washington, D.C. I found it quite interesting about this Pathways to Housing in D.C. because it's kind of like the same facility that Stacey Wondra was staying in 2015 when he was younger. Okay, so Pathways to Housing was founded in 2004. Pathways to Housing DC provides home, health, and hope to more than 2,000 adults each year who are experiencing homelessness or at a risk for homelessness. Pathways to Housing DC initially opened their doors to end homelessness. And then it says homelessness and help the healing of men and women who were considered chronically homeless, those individuals living on the streets for years with serious mental health challenges such as schizophrenia or bipolar disorder that were not being treated. And then what has made Pathways to Housing in DC is unique in its success over the past decade in our reversal of this traditional treatment sequence. Instead of requiring people to be clean and sober or housing ready, Pathway DC offers housing first, which I kind of am just like, really? Like, wouldn't you rather get people clean and sober and then give them housing so they can actually keep a job to keep their housing? I don't know if that's just me.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting that they would put it in that order. But, maybe they feel like they would get clean and stuff if they gave them a place to live first. Who knows? Since placing its first clients into permanent housing over a decade ago, Pathways to Housing DC has successfully ended chronic homelessness and supported recovery for more than 2,000 Washington, D.C. residents with a staff today of over 140 highly skilled professionals. Pathways to Housing DC provides comprehensive integrated health and social services to nearly 3,500 clients annually through the district and Maryland. Okay. So that's the story. We're going to talk about the pathways. They, disability, health and medicine, housing and homelessness, mental health, and poverty. So let's talk about this mental health thing. Is he claiming to have mental health issues? Is he taking medication for these mental health issues? Is he one of those criminals like Stacey Wondra that every time he goes into court uses his mental illness as an excuse to get away with everything that he's doing? Because this is the kind of stuff I'm asking myself when I see, and I'm also looking at this, noticing that this is almost kind of like that, it's drug and alcohol based and homelessness based. And that's pretty much, and mental health based. And it's kind of like the facility that Stacey Wondra was in.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. The fact that they specialize in the chronic homelessness because of those reasons, makes you wonder, out of all the shelters, why that one, if there is a history of that. We don't know. And that's just an interesting point.
Another suspect in Michael Vaughan's abduction.
Yep,
he
exactly.
is getting away with all of the stuff. He's never kept in jail long enough. He's running the streets. He's changing his name. He's changing his profile. Nobody knows where he is, what he's doing, what not. And here again, we have the system failing again. And yeah, it's just really disturbing to see this. Savannah, I need to know about the mental illness thing. Yeah, I would love to know more about the mental illness thing. Yeah, and then we got Bigfoot Barbecue. Look what's going on in Portland, Samantha, with the homeless. Look what's going on in Vancouver, Washington. These people are everywhere, even up here in Cougar, Washington, where we live. They're everywhere. They're homesteading places, popping up their tents. They're doing a lot. And sometimes you see homeless people that actually, I don't know how else to put this. This is going to be a very touchy subject, and I may even piss some people off, but here's my opinion on it. I see people out there holding their signs and wanting money, and they're literally nodding off, and they look like zombies standing there, leaning way over to the side, about to hit the damn ground while they're asking for money, and it's obvious because they're doing drugs. And every now and then you do see maybe a teenager or maybe the elderly people that are homeless. And I'm not saying all homeless people are bad. Facilities like this would be great. I think let's put up more of these facilities to help the people, though, that aren't on drugs, that actually really do need a lot of help. Not saying that the people that are on drugs don't need a lot of help, but I don't know how to say it without just ticking people off. We have elderly people that are out there that are homeless because their Social Security does not allow them to live and to function. And these are people that raised us, took care of us. We're our teacher, we're our law enforcement that took care of us, and it's time for us to take care of them. And then you have teenagers that are out there that are homeless for whatever reason, and we need to get them off of the streets because they are in danger out there on the street as far as trafficking or anything like that. It's a dangerous world for our teenagers. And I'm just like, let's come up with more of these facilities. Let's put them out there. Let's save our teenagers and our elderly. And then instead of places like this, let's do something, a drug rehabilitation center or something to get people off their drugs so then they can later, live their lives fully. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I agree. I mean, Oregon decriminalized small amounts of drugs in, I don't know, a year or two ago. And now all of a sudden they're like, we need to reverse that ASAP because we are in a huge epidemic of people overdosing and hurting themselves. And so they are looking at that as being a potential contributor to that. But yeah, I know that's a little off topic. Didn't mean
well,
to take
no,
a
it's
complete
on
bird walk,
topic.
but yeah, I agree. We need to have more access to the root of the homeless problem, which a lot of times is addiction. That's a huge contributing factor to homelessness.
And Amy brings up a good point. Addiction is now being classified as mental illness here. And I've heard about that in a lot of different areas, you know, and it's also because the drugs that are going around these days aren't the drugs that were going back way back then. I mean, you got fentanyl and everything. Anyway, we went on our little drug tangent. It just bothered me when I read about pathways and I wanted to talk about it. So let's talk about pathways a little bit more in the 828 building. So this is the location of it. It's on Evarts and this other road. This long building that you see where the dot is on, this is the 828 Evarts.
It's a long, skinny building.
Very long, skinny building. And I wanted to talk about, look at the neighborhood. That sign says Evarts on it. If I
See
can
there, it's so skinny. Look at that. It's a skinny little
this
weird
is
shaped building.
828. We know where you were, Adrien. We know you were at Pathways at one time. You're not too good at it. We will keep looking for you. We will find you. When law enforcement is ready to put out their indictments and come after you, you definitely won't be able to hide, because if you heard it correctly and you're here listening to this live, we had marshals that went after Stacey Wondra. And when they put out those indictments, you're not going to be able to run from one little city and from one little state, because we're going to have the FBI. We're going to have everybody after you. Everybody will be after you. You will not be able to run. And then just look at this building. There's windows. There's bars on the windows. I noticed all the really super nice cars parked around this area. Just saying, I was kind of like, what? But there is just this long warehouse building turned into, a homeless shelter. What?
So
Kinda
peculiar.
crazy.
Almost looks like loading bays that were shut down, and like converted.
And then,
because
like
look,
I
there's
said,
a loading bay right there. So I bet you this was at one time. I don't know. Very.
I just
interesting.
noticed that too after you said that. Yeah, this is the neighborhood. I mean, this is the area next to the building. I'm just kind of like, what? It almost looks like a trailer unit. You know what I mean? But what you said was way better. So we do know that's not where he is currently, because that shelter on Evarts is no more. This article says, goodbye, Evarts. Hello. What is this? Bladensburg?
Bladensburg.
Bladensburg. This is the new building that they made for Pathways. Let me throw up some. Let's see.
It's a much nicer building on the exterior. Like, that's very more like, inviting.
Right.
I would say.
I think it's a beautiful building. It's a lot better than that other one. I don't even know if I would have wanted to stay in the other one personally.
Yeah.
This says Pathways to Housing DC begins a new, exciting chapter in our journey to end homelessness and support recovery for people with complex health challenges. As we bid farewell to 828 Evart Street. We embrace a new future and enhances and amplifies our mission beginning October 2nd of 2023. So that's when this new building went up, was in October. Well, probably not the building, but that's when it opened, was October 2, 2023. We have moved to our new primary location at 1151 Bladensburg Road Northeast, Suite 101, that will better suit our clients' needs and provide greater dignity and quality to our work. Which, you know what, when they say that, like, being in a nicer building, this would bring you a little bit more dignity, because let me tell you, coming in and out of that little thing that looks like a warehouse wouldn't really make me feel too good about myself.
Right.
You know,
Totally agree. That wouldn't upgrade for the people that they do help. But again, it even just points out that it is for people that have complex mental health issues. And this is the shelter that was providing Adrien assistance, at least at one time.
yeah. So that is the last known place that we know for Adrien. And like I said, he's traveling, he's moving, he's always on the go. We believe he could be down in Ohio since the warrant for his arrest was issued in Maryland. But who knows? He could be in Washington, D.C., Maryland, Idaho. Who knows? He's even got connections in California. So,
He has connections all, it sounds like, all around on the East Coast too, because I'm going off memory, but I feel like I saw that one time he was pulled over in even New York. So
yes, he does have ties with New York.
So
yes, you are correct on that. So
he's keeping a low profile wherever he's at. He does not want to be found. He's not like Brandon, turning himself in and trying to get right with the court system. He is on the run.
Just like an old distribution center for trucks, like an old distribution center for trucks. And I think it's both. Like, what comes first? We've got people talking about bipolar disorder and stuff. And they're talking about roosters and hens and chickens and stuff, and I'm not going all into that. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So on a more serious note, like I was saying earlier, Adrien's ticking people off, right? Mm-hmm. Ticking people off, throwing people under the bus. This person may have done something to Michael. This person may have abducted Michael. Maybe this person, maybe this. He's out there talking, you guys.
He's pulling a Terry Horman, trying to deflect all the heat off of him and pointing at anybody, even if it doesn't make any sense, to get the heat off him.
I was able to obtain this information. And before anybody talks to me about it, I cannot give out any of my sources. I'm not willing to do so. This information was turned over to law enforcement, and I have permission to use it. And that's about as far as we're going to go with how I got some information. But I'm going to share the information with you, and you are more than welcome to use my channel. And you can, everybody needs to always know, if I'm doing a case on a child and you want to use information that we have here on our channel, use it. I'm never going to come at you. I'm never going to strike you. I'm never going to harass you, talk bad about you. I'm not going to do that. My focus is on these missing children, okay? Mm-hmm. That's my main focus. I will never do anything to hinder a child's case, ever.
Amen.
We're not about that. We're not about the drama. Use anything you want to use. And after this live is over, probably sometime next week or so, I'll start sharing some of this information in the community. Just keep an eye out for it. I don't ever just hold on to information. That's not what I want to do. I want information on Michael's case to be spread.
Right.
So with that being said,
easily accessible to people, because we know the damage that it can cause to spread baseless rumors, and that's not what we're about. So, yeah.
Let me take a great big drink of water here, because my throat. I was sick for 3 weeks. My daughter had her wedding last week. I'm still waiting to put up pictures. I told my other kids, I'm like, don't you guys dare post any pictures of your sister or your sister's wedding until she has a few weeks to post all of her pictures that she wants. I remember when we got remarried on our 25th, a lot of people started posting, and I was just like, ugh, I wanted to post that. So I'm not posting anything right now, but it was totally beautiful. My husband was in tears. It was a great weekend, but I'm not going to lie when I tell you that I'm glad the fast moving stuff is over and that I am back here with all of you. So big drink. Thank you, Chaos Queen. It was beautiful.
Yeah, special time, but I know what you mean about that hustle and bustle and just kind of appreciating your regular pace again.
Right? Excuse me. I needed that drink. My mouth was so dry. And I just put a holes in my mouth too, so you guys might hear that. Adding this up to the stage. So here you're going to see these are text messages. One person has messages because they were communicating with Adrien himself, and they shared what Adrien was saying in some messages. I'm gonna pull it up. God, I hope I can read this. I always have to pull stuff up on my phone because I can't see it.
I know this one is a little tricky for me to see right now.
Yeah, it's all really small. I'm finding it, people. Hold up. Okay. So like I said, here in the white section, that is Adrien messaging, and whoever this person is was messaging with him. And it says, so A, you're not the only one that has to pay the piper for trying to kill me. He says trying to, but trying to kill me. You had a convo with the twins. They were supposed to kill me in Portland. I have the audio. And it says, and they even, something's like blocked out there. So bro, I'm trying my best to work with you. I'm not going to tell you, no police or nothing. All you have to do is deny.
If they come at you.
Yeah,
It's a typo, but I'm sure that's what he meant. If they come at you, just deny it.
Yeah, if they come at you. And then this person says, Adrien claims to have an audio conversation between him and you, your brother, in regards to you trying to kill him on, and then stuff's blocked out, all to cover evidence. And you taking the little boy, Michael Vaughan. What's your side of the story? Because right now he's given his two lots of, and then let me just read that again. Adrien claims to have audio conversation between him and you, your brother, in regards to you trying to kill him on blank, blank, blank. I think it's a date. All to cover evidence on you, all taking the little boy, Michael Vaughan. What's your side of this story? Because right now he's given his two lots, and then
Lots of people. Giving
his to lots of people.
Wow.
Then this person that he's talking to, this is somebody that this person's talking to because they're talking bad about this person that's been blocked out, that says he's tripping. He's been blocked out to protect him. And it was like, and then it comes back with, is he though? We've received some pretty compelling audio that says otherwise. And then there's a 5-second audio and a 4-second audio shared with this person who says he's tripping because he's denying he has anything to do with Michael Vaughan's disappearance, with his death, and whatever. And now I'm going to play for you guys a recording where this person who says he's tripping, what he has to say to Adrien. So, Adrien, if you're listening, here's a message just for you.
I didn't kidnap that kid or kill the kid. So that was completely him. Don't be trying to put it off on me and my brother. I'll fucking smoke you guys myself. I won't be going to jail for smoking a kid. I'll be going there smoking y'all. Fuck around. So that was completely him. Don't be trying to put it off on me. I didn't kidnap that kid.
He's saying I didn't kidnap that kid, because this is one of those people that I was talking about earlier that Adrien wants to throw under the bus, that Adrien wants to say, hey, this person had something involved. Well, this guy ain't too happy about being thrown under the bus. You can definitely tell that. I'm going to try to rewind it so you guys can hear it again, but he's like, I didn't, kidnap the kid. I didn't take the kid. I didn't kill the kid. And he's threatening Adrien.
I didn't kidnap that kid or kill the kid. So that was completely him. Don't be trying to put it off on me and my brother. I'll fucking smoke you guys myself. I won't be going to jail for smoking a kid. I'll be going there smoking y'all. Fuck around.
I won't be going to jail for smoking a kid. I'll be going to jail for smoking y'all. Fuck around. That's his message to Adrien. I was blown away.
Yeah, that's pretty serious if you ask me. I mean, somebody's coming to him about his side of the story that Adrien is telling this person. And that person is coming back super defensive saying, don't bring me into this. I had nothing to do with this. And if you wrap me into this, then that's just crazy. And
yeah, Callie Dime says, who's y'all? And I'm assuming y'all must be Adrien,
and
Sarah, Brandon,
I'm thinking,
and Stacey.
Yeah, I'm either thinking that or he's talking about the person that is asking him, hey, Adrien said this. Is that true? And he's saying, don't wrap me in with that. I'll smoke all y'all, as in Adrien and you. That's just another.
Let's listen to it again.
I didn't kidnap that kid or kill the kid. So that was completely him. Don't be trying to put it off on me and my brother. I'll fucking smoke you guys myself. I won't be going to jail for smoking a kid. I'll be going there smoking y'all. Fuck around.
Yeah. I was scared to even put this up here. I'm just going to be honest. I was kind of scared to not only get in trouble by YouTube because it says something about smoking somebody, but I was scared to kind of throw this up here on my panel. But here's the message for you, Adrien. Now you got it. Best be careful throwing people under the bus. You might as well just...
I mean, if you have information on who did this to Michael and you're blaming it on whoever XYZ and his twin brother, why don't you go to the police?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
talk to Fruitland Police.
Yep.
Tell them what you know.
They'd love to talk to you about anything you have to say about Michael.
Yeah, stop playing games. And then I got a hold of this news article because I wanted to talk about this news article because Huff actually mentions this article came out on March 1st. The case of missing Michael Vaughan in the hands of the Payette County prosecutor, because we know recently more information was turned over to Payette County prosecutor in Michael Vaughan's case. The information coming in are from tips, so and then so we're just going to go over the case just a tad bit because it does cover the case. Boise, Idaho, CBS 2. Let me get this hose out of my mouth. This July will mark the 3-year anniversary since Michael Vaughan disappeared near his home in Fruitland. For several months, it appeared as if he would never be found. Calls and tips to Fruitland police numbered in the hundreds, but still no trace of the now 7-year-old who is affectionately known as Monkey by family and by friends. A little over a year ago, Fruitland police caught a lead. They searched the home and property of Sarah and Stacey Wondra, which is just a few blocks from where Michael was last seen. Fruitland police said in a press conference after a search that they had discovered evidence that Michael's remains were likely buried in the backyard at one point, but have since been removed to an unknown location. Sarah Wondra was arrested and charged with the failing to report a death to the coroner, but those charges were dropped shortly after. She has been serving time for unrelated crimes since then. Fruitland police forwarded the case to the prosecutor, saying they believe there is enough evidence to show that Michael's remains were on the property at one point. Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff tells CBS2 that our case is in the hands of the Payette County prosecutor. Our investigation is ongoing. The entirety of the case, as well as tips and leads, are still coming in and are being worked. And this is talking about the most recent tips that we know that have been going to Fruitland Police, and they're coming off the streets. They're coming off of the streets because Adrien wants to throw people under the bus. So I know I'm going to get lots of people wanting to hear this information again. So let's just hear what this person has to say one more time. Actually, we can even go through the text message one more time.
Yeah, Hot Mess said, please play it again. And they wrote, that is Brandon's voice. So let's listen to it and see if we hear Brandon talking. The thing is whoever's saying it has a brother. Because this text says...
Yeah, it says something about a brother, doesn't it?
Yep. It says Adrien claims to have an audio conversation between him. But yeah, let's start at the beginning. I can't read that.
So in the white section is the text message that this person in this text message is sharing with the person that's upset, I guess is the only way to put. So he says, so, A, you're not the only one that has to pay the piper for trying to kill me. They had a convo with You had a convo with the twins. They are supposed to kill me in Portland. I have you on audio. And they even, something's blocked out. So, bro, I'm trying my best to work with you. I'm not trying to tell no police or nothing. All you have to do is deny if they come at you. Bro, send it. And then you have this person that's messaging with this upset person. Adrien claims to have audio conversations between him and you, your brother, in regards you trying to kill him on a specific date, all to cover evidence in you all taking the little boy Michael Vaughan. What's your side of the story? Because right now he's giving his to lots of people. Let me fast forward right here. This says to lots of people. This guy is pissed and he's like, he's tripping. Is he though? We've received some pretty compelling audio that says otherwise. He shares 5 seconds of an audio conversation, a 4-second audio conversation, and then there's the 14-second audio, which is this person saying he's tripping, given his peace of mind, I guess, or he's given his force on the situation.
His what? His what horse?
They didn't kidnap that kid or kill the kid. So that was completely him. Don't be trying to put it off on me and my brother. I'll fucking smoke you guys myself. I won't be going to jail for smoking a kid. I'll be going there smoking y'all. Fuck around.
Yeah, it doesn't only sound like he's saying this to Adrien. It does sound like he's directing some of that to this person that's messaging him too.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm not sure if it's Brandon's voice or not. I've heard Brandon talk But the
I
fact
don't
that
think he's got like a sling going or something. I don't think that's Brandon at all. Let's listen to it again.
I didn't kidnap that kid or kill the kid. So that was completely him. Don't be trying to put it off on me and my brother. I'll fucking smoke you guys myself. I won't be going to jail for smoking a kid. I'll be going there smoking y'all. Fuck around.
right, and this has been turned over to police, so it's not Brandon that is the one that turned it over to police. So,
2 blue monkey stuff. And I looked everywhere and finally found 2 blue monkeys. That is Brandon's voice, Hot Mess says. This is Brandon's voice again, Hot Mess says. I think you're right, says Bigfoot Barbecue. Hot Mess says, no worries. Brandon considers Stacey is his brother and refers to him as such. This is Brandon's voice. It's not Brandon. I don't believe that it's Brandon either. I think Brandon's voice is a lot different. So I have Brandon's voice in court docs. Let's back up. Where do we hear him talk? Let me find a spot. Hold up.
So if he admits to one allegation in both cases, then the state would withdraw the remaining allegations, so this court doesn't have to read through all those.
All right, thank you. All right, so normally when the state admission to one condition of probation violation under each case, and the state would withdraw the remaining violation.
Actually, let me do this. I'm going to look for
what you're looking for? Did we get disconnected? Did I get disconnected? Oh, it is just me. Samantha got disconnected. I'm sure she'll be right back in here in just a minute. She was probably going to grab that JLR interview, just like you mentioned, Karen. That's where I've heard Brandon's voice as well.
Are you there?
Yay, you're back.
Yeah, my computer completely shut down, and I'm surprised all of you guys are still here.
Well, that was a quick reboot. It was quiet, and I'm like, it's a little too quiet. Is she still searching, or are we disconnected?
No, I went over. I was going to share my screen, and now I don't even want to do it because my computer's being stupid. Earlier, I was trying to put together all of my videos and stuff, and I get on the app where I usually put my videos and stuff together, and it's completely different. It wasn't letting me log into places and do things. I don't know if it's my computer messing up or what, but I was going to go over to the JLR interview and like kind of take a peek. But right now, as I'm looking, all of the videos that I had uploaded, thank God we just played everything because they're all gone.
Wow.
So
we got lucky when you crashed.
Perfect. Yes.
Yes.
It crashed at the right moment. We were done showing everything. We were just discussing. I bet you I could pull up that video though. Let me see.
Brandon sounds like Urkel. I totally know what you mean. That's what I picture in my head too. Whiny and a higher pitch. Oh, looks like Susie just joined us. Hello, Susie. Thanks for joining us.
I didn't kidnap that kid or kill the kid. So that was completely him. Don't be trying to put it off on me, my brother. I'll fucking smoke you guys myself. I won't be going to jail for smoking a kid. I'll be going there smoking y'all. Fuck around.
So there's that one. Let me see if I don't really want to go over there to look for the YouTube. I personally don't believe that's him. I know Brandon's voice pretty well, and I just don't feel like that's him. That's my opinion. Who else did Brandon talk to besides JLR? Well, I have him here in these court docs. Let me see. Can you look it up on your phone and share a recording, Kaylia?
Like share it to you right now, and then you can just put
just
it
share
on
it
there?
through the microphone. No, just share it
through
your
yeah.
microphone. Brandon's voice on the JLR interview.
Let me pull
So
it
we
up.
can compare. Okay.
Okay, let me get it here.
And Brandon doesn't have a twin brother. The screenshot from Adrien looks like it says twin. Yes, I believe that's exactly what it said.
Okay, here's the interview. Brandon is speaking right now. I'm just starting a minute and 30 seconds in, so.
What's that? Can you explain
This is
what's
JLR.
going on? Like what happened? What went down? What's up? Yeah, the people that I used to stay with sometimes on the weekend and drive taxi for or whatever, they're involved in some big shit about. They're saying they know more about the Michael Vaughan case and everything like that. And I heard that they're saying that they actually killed him themselves. Now, who said that?
So that's Brandon.
Yeah, let me play this one now.
Or kill the kid. So that was completely him. Don't be trying to put it off on me, my brother. I'll fucking smoke you guys myself.
Yeah, this guy here sounds like he's got a little bit of like twist on his voice, a little bit of southern something. Can you play Brandon one more time?
Yeah.
Or whatever, they're involved in some big shit about. They're saying they know more about the Michael Vaughan case and everything like that. And I heard that they're saying that they actually killed him themselves. Now, who said that?
Yeah, Hot Mess is saying do the interview that he did in the hot tub, and that's exactly what she just pulled up. Yeah, I don't think that that's him. That does not sound like Brandon to me.
Kid. So that was completely him. Don't be trying to put it off on me, my brother. I'll fucking smoke you guys myself.
Yeah, I don't want to have to play that too many times because I don't want YouTube to hate me. I think it's a different. He's got more bass in his voice. Yeah, he's got more something in his voice, almost like a southern twang or like an accent from somewhere. Yeah, this dude is not Brandon. Yeah, I don't think so either. I swear at the hot tub, yes, he was drinking. Yes, I swear it sounds like Brandon without alcohol. I don't know. But Adrien knows.
Yes, right.
I'm pretty sure Adrien knows who that is. So.
Yep. Exactly.
Brandy, are you here? Come say hi to us so we can tell you happy birthday. If you're not, I'm still going to tell you happy birthday, love. We love you. Chat loves you. Happy birthday.
Hope you've had a great birthday today. You know, in our area, it was beautiful. I hope the weather treated you just as well.
Yep, I hope you were surrounded by family, birthday cake, blowing out some candles, making a wish. We already know what your wish probably was. And here's a good happy birthday for you. Didn't mean to do that twice. Yeah, from all of us to you, happy birthday. Hope you had a great day. I hope everybody enjoyed the live. So let's do some chit chat. You know, we did that Q&A with Kyron Horman, and I loved the Q&A, the talking and chatting with everybody in chat. It was amazing. We've got so many happy birthdays for you here. Brandi, we love you. We love the family. We love Michael.
Lots of Brandi love. Happy birthday, love. Blue hearts.
We love it. Happy birthday. I don't even know how old you are. I wish I knew how old you were. You're younger than me. That's for sure. Let me put up the tip line phone number. And we can start with that. And then, yeah, in case anybody's got some tips.
There we go. Your family members checking out for the night.
Oh, good night. Good night.
Sending
Have a
some
good one.
roses or tulips.
Yep. Tulip farms are going to be blooming all over here real soon. I cannot wait to go see them. I already have some tulips. They're not quite open, but they've got their color on them and their leaves. Have a good night, Jason. Have a good night, sis, if you're leaving too. Monkey Strong says Karen Sue. What is this? A friend of Adrien Lucienne? What is this?
Oh, Jemima asked, what was the voice? I just replied it was a friend of Adrien who was responding to Adrien directly. That was a message to Adrien.
Yeah, I know it was kind of confusing to just understand that whole thing, but the text messages were between a person and this other person that was mad at Adrien for saying what Adrien said.
This is all his circle of people.
Yeah. Monkey Strong.
Yeah, definitely doesn't surprise me that these men are all out here reoffending, and Brandon, his is kind of like, come on, that's so silly. You got pulled over a second time, and that's why you have another charge against you, another criminal charge. But like Adrien, burglary and destruction of property, and we heard Stacey's own mouth talk about what he's in there for. Just no regard for the law, and
yeah just doing what they want to do.
Yep.
Yeah, make it make sense. When is law enforcement, finally going to do something? And unfortunately, the judges in these cases, when they're seeing them and stuff, can't go, oh, yeah, they're a suspect in Michael Vaughan's case. So we'll just give them everything we can. But what I find really interesting, I want to go back to it because we talked about this at the beginning of the live. Sarah and Stacey can't talk anymore, and they were talking all the time. I think this is great because they can no longer chit chat with each other, and all they can do is be paranoid and wonder what the hell's going on.
Yeah. I mean, put yourself in their position. It's hard to imagine, but like if you were trying to hide that you committed a violent crime, you would definitely not want the other person to be in a vulnerable situation that could put them against you, and then all of a sudden the dominoes start to tumble. And that's all we can really hope for. I mean, we always say who's going to roll first, because the first who talks gets the easiest, consequences on them.
Yeah. I love this. Can't wait to catch up and the curtain falling down. Exactly. Yep. Let's just get these indictments out there.
Soon. The justice system moves slowly, but the Fruitland police, they are dedicated. You can tell. So, man, I can't wait for the day that the update that these YouTubers and Samantha and I were bringing you, oh my gosh, the indictments are here, and this is what they say,
Yeah, and then I mean, then you have that Stacey. He's in jail. He was out here on YouTube and stuff. Don't tell me he ain't in there going, "Great, I'm in jail. I bet you YouTube's talking about me."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know he's in there worried or not very happy because he can't, look and see what's going on because he has to be in control because he's such a narcissist. But yeah, it's great that he's in jail. And what an amazing thing to happen a week before Brandy's birthday. Whoop whoop. Hello. That's great. I mean, it must feel nice. You know what I mean? I mean, he's been out on the streets around in the same area where they've been, and he's responsible for doing something to their child. Can
Right.
you even imagine how it feels to know that he's nearby? Does he want to hurt us? Does he want to do something else to one of my kids?
Right.
Like
My
what's
goodness.
going through their minds, like with the what ifs and whatever, and just that peace of mind they must have been feeling once he got put in jail and just knowing he's there for a couple months. But now Brandon, he's running around. Great. So let's get his ass in jail.
Exactly. I wonder if he does have that second warrant or not, because the only thing that makes me wonder maybe not is he was pulled over after that. But like we talked about, it could have been just in a different county and the counties didn't communicate with each other and he was lucky.
Yeah, because he was pulled over in 2 different counties. One was Ada County, which is Boise, if I'm correct. And then Canyon County is
Kuna.
Napa and Kuna, yeah. And, I'm pretty sure some counties don't link up. You're talking little bitty tiny little towns and stuff anyway. Fruitland only has like a couple of detectives.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's all they need. It's a teeny tiny little community that seems relatively safe all in all. It just happens that there were predators and yeah. Yep, I agree, Jemima. I would rather be patient and have faith that they're going to do this right for Michael's family. That's how I feel in so many cases. And one time I was listening to a podcast that was about, I think it was like a 25-year-old case where they hadn't found the person yet. And the podcaster got to actually speak with the detective that was assigned to the case and interview him on audio recording. And one way that he described it is us, we have to have a level of blind faith in the police. And that's honestly hard for humans. It is. So I get where people are skeptical when they don't hear every single detail or updates every single month from the police. We have to have a level of blind faith that they're working behind the scenes. And honestly, a tall tale sign, in my opinion, that they're working hard on the case is how happy is the family. Is the family out here saying they're not caring about, they're not looking into my family member's case, which we do see often? Or do we hear like Brandi, where Brandi's over here like family with the police detectives and the Fruitland?
Yeah, they literally call each other family. They've become their family. Law enforcement says they consider Michael Vaughan to be their son. They're never going to give up. They've done an amazing job with everything that they've done. And yes, we are not hearing from the parents that they don't like what law enforcement is doing. They love what's been getting done. And that's very telling, even 3 years in, and they still think they're doing an amazing job, and tips are still coming in. They were just able to hand over more information to the prosecutor's office because tips came in that were so good, they were able to turn it over to the prosecutor.
That is awesome. I mean, that just goes to show that what we all are doing, all of us collectively, this Michael's army, it's working. This is the difference that I was talking about earlier in the show, where I was like, making a difference in cases. That's exactly what I mean. Keeping Michael's story out there enough where things are happening and tips are coming in, and low key, I believe that Michael's community is definitely at least indirectly involved for that. So
Yeah, and Callie Dime here, she is super close. Matter of fact, her and Brandy pretty much call each other, sorry, sisters. Says absolutely, and we would not be quiet if Ellie wasn't doing their jobs.
I
I
believe
mean,
that. I believe that because yeah, I mean, what else can you do if you're fighting for justice for your family member? But I definitely don't get that sense at all. I have that blind faith wholeheartedly in the Fruitland Police Department and the district attorney that justice will come when it's meant to. And we just have to keep the patience, keep Michael's story out there, keep
yeah,
the pressure.
let's keep throwing Michael up. You know, if any creators are here and they haven't done a show on Michael in a while, do a show on Michael. Even if it's just to show his face, show some flyers, talk about him, talk about the suspects, go over old news. One of the reasons why we wanted to dive deep and do another live is because it's been a long time since we've seen anybody else do lives on Michael. Brooks did do lives this week on Michael. We have been thinking about putting this show together for a while. So yeah, it was really nice to have a couple shows out there, but let's get more out there. If you have any information about these suspects, Sarah and Stacey Wondra, Brandon Shurtliff, Adrien Lucienne, please call the tip line. You can remain anonymous at 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org.
I would just like to say this new comment that just came in, you just highlighted it. Michael's army has reached me in England, and any spare time I am searching for any information to help this case. That is amazing. And
Yes,
I was
awesome.
about to say right after Samantha finished, but you are your perfect little transition. If anybody would be willing to hang flyers for Michael or missing Kyron Horman, because that's also another very dear missing child to us. If you would be willing to hang flyers in your area, that also will bring awareness to Michael and Kyron's cases. Even if, you know, we do know that Fruitland Police Department does say that they have reason to believe that Michael might not be around any longer, which is tragic to say. But that doesn't mean we should stop hanging his flyers just in case. And B, it also does wonders for raising awareness that he's still missing and he needs more people in his army fighting for justice. And so, yeah, anybody who would be willing to hang flyers in their area, I would be happy to supply you flyers at no cost to you. I have sent over 500 flyers around the country for Kyron Horman. I haven't had the chance to do that for Michael. So yes, please get a hold of Samantha or I if you'd be willing to do that, because the weather's getting nicer. This is the time where flyers will really stand around and hang out because the weather's going to keep them up longer. And
it puts pressure on these suspects to have these flyers up. It's a reminder that people are still out there talking, looking, and doing something for Michael.
Never giving up. Exactly.
And the beauty of, social media, like Callie Dime says, share it on your social media. If you have an Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any account that you have. If you use your TikTok, why not do a TikTok? Or if you can't do a TikTok, go share a TikTok. Go share a TikTok that somebody has already done on Michael Vaughan. You can do that. And TikTok is actually a really big platform for missing children these days. So, yeah, use your social media.
That's right. Social media is so powerful.
We are Monkey's Army. We are not going to give up. Yeah, we're going to be here till the very end. And then when the end comes, we're going to be here to support the family while they're getting justice, while people are getting indictments and being arrested and charged for the abduction of Michael Vaughan. And those suspects are Stacey and Sarah Wondra, Brandon Shurtliff, and Adrien Lucienne. You guys can't run. You can't hide. When we know Sarah and Stacey can't hide right now because we know exactly where they're at. Brandon's headed there, and maybe we'll get lucky and something will happen and Adrien will end up locked up somewhere too.
He can't run from the law forever, even if he hasn't faced charges for Michael. he can't run from his warrant forever. It will catch up with him one day. So we can only hope that sooner than later.
Yep. And because my computer was having some technical difficulties, I want to just play one more video with Monkey and the birthday again for BRANDI. And then after that, we're going to sign out. We want to tell everybody that we love you. We appreciate you. We're glad you're here. We appreciate new, old members. I appreciate all the mods that showed up tonight. Thank you so much. I was kind of worried about what was going to be going on with the mod section. Please share missing children, all of them. They need the awareness. And remember, you can always give your tips, and you can always be anonymous, and you can always share. Sharing is easy. Click it. You can share it. You got anything to say, doll, before I start throwing up videos and ending the stream?
Oh, just thank you, everybody, for joining us. Awesome to be back with our crowd. Thank you to Yaya. Thank you to Past. Thank you to Grandma of 3. And thank you to Crime Sleuthin for your super stickers earlier on our first ever super stickers. If you haven't yet, please like our video. Share it if you are in any groups for Michael or anything like that. We'd love the support. And yeah, I just told Hot Mess, if you want flyers, come find Samantha and I on our Missing Pacific Northwest Crimes Revisited Facebook page. It's the same here as you see on YouTube, Missing PNW Crimes Revisited, and we have a page over there. If you message our page with your address, I will send them out to you Monday morning.
Thank you guys, yes, very much for all the super stickers. Those were our first ones ever.
Yes, so thank you so much. They feel extra special. They feel extra special. We really appreciate you for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Chaos Queen, again for the mod. Everybody, the mods. I'm going to go ahead and throw up these videos, and we hope to see you guys again real soon. I can promise you it ain't going to be 3 weeks. Have a good night, everyone.